So, hi everybody. So, yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to this week's quiz. As per usual, I'm going to give a few minutes for people to join. So, feel free to take the time, go grab a drink, relax, get on calls with your teams if you're making teams. All that sort of stuff. Go take a look at the picture round as well. So if you just go down to the video description, there's a picture round in there. So this week it's all dingbats of London Underground tube stations, London Underground stations. So try and work out what station I'm talking about from the image clues. But yeah, so I'm just going to leave a few minutes for a few more people to join. So in the meantime, talk amongst yourselves. Well, communicate amongst yourselves. Hi guys. I'm just going to adjust the screen settings slightly. Looking things over. That'll do. That will do. Oh no, Zoe. Hopefully more people will join you in a bit. Thank you, Richard. Shift that slightly. Been in work today, so I've moved my laptop, so my settings all changed. Trying to find the perfect angle again. But I think that's probably about it. For anyone who has joined in the last minute or so, hello. Just want to say also, as per usual, we're just going to wait a few more minutes for a few more people to join us. But I hope you're all staying happy, healthy. The lockdown's not getting you down too much. So yes, we're just going to wait a few more minutes for a few more people to join. So in the meantime, take the time to go get yourself a drink, do whatever you want to do, communicate with teams if you're doing teams. Take a look at the picture round. So if you go into the video description, there should be a link there to a Google Doc with the picture round in it. So the picture round this week is dingbats of London Underground tube stations. So work out what station, so what tube station I'm talking about from the picture clues. Hopefully it's not too difficult. Yeah, we'll get started, probably go through the general blurb in probably about five minutes or so once a few more people have joined us. Hi everyone who said hello to me in the last minute or so. Hello, I hope you're all okay. Yes, Mum, I think you might have seen some of the pictures before. I gained my inspiration from something you sent me a couple of years ago, so you may have seen them. But that's all right then, Mum. At least it means it wasn't too easy from that point of view. Ooh. Well, hi to anyone who has just joined us. So we're just waiting a few minutes for a few more people to join. But in the meantime, take time, get yourself a drink, get yourself sort of settled, take a look at the picture round. So if you go into the video description, you'll see a link to a Google Doc, which will take you to a picture round. So this week the picture round is all dingbats of London Underground stations. So to try and work out which station I'm talking about based on the picture clues given. And we will be starting the quiz in probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, otherwise enjoy. Feel free, as I say, to get your teams together electronically or in person if you live together. And just enjoy. I'm already enjoying the rivalry that's going on in the comments. All right, just give a minute or so more, just for a few more people to join. I'll start going through everything when my clock hits 8:05. Awesome. All right. Hello to everyone who has just joined. So I'm just going to make a start in a sec. In the meantime, hello everybody. So in the meantime, have a look at the picture round. So the picture round, the answers are all London Underground stations. It's just in picture clue form, so to try and work out which London Underground station we're talking about, based on the picture clues. I must admit, I made a couple of them, but most of them I just Googled and found some. But I collated them all together myself. So, but yes. So, right, I'm going to make a start now, I think. So, hello, welcome to everybody. Those of you who have been here before, hello, welcome back. To all the new people, hello, thank you for joining us. So, yeah, this is a pretty informal quiz. It's going to be made up of 5 rounds plus our picture round. So the picture round, the link for that is in the video description. There'll be 5 rounds. So the structure is going to be, we'll do 3 rounds, then have a little bit of a break for you to go through your answers, make sure you're happy with everything, go get a drink, do whatever you need to do. Then we'll come back, mark those first 3 rounds, then go on and do the final 2 rounds, and then mark those and the picture round. So Thank you, everybody. And yeah, hello again, everyone. Yeah, so that's what the structure of the quiz is going to be. Like any sort of pub quiz, you can't, well, especially one that we're doing online. Obviously, it gives you the means to be able to look up the answers. Please don't do that. It kind of defeats the purpose of taking part and doing a quiz. Sort of have fun, try and give it a go. Hopefully none of these are too difficult, but we'll see. Like any quiz, it's easy if you know the answers. So we'll try and do that, but feel free to make teams either electronically, sort of by phone, video conferencing or whatever, or obviously if you live together, you can make a team with people together. Please don't post the answers again. Please don't post the answers in the comments. Again, that kind of defeats the purpose of doing a quiz. But feel free to have a bit of banter with each other in the comments. Just don't post the actual answers. Whereas I think that is everything good to go. I know there's a little bit of a delay, I think, but if you could say ready in the comments, and then I'll know we are ready to start. So fab, I'm starting to see some ready comments come in. So I'm going to make a start. So the first round, as always, is general knowledge. These are a bit of a mixture of anything. So question 1. Which island in the Arctic Ocean is the largest island in the world? So repeating that, which island in the Arctic Ocean is the largest island in the world? Question 2. Who voiced the hyena Shenzi in the 1994 Disney film The Lion King? So who voiced the hyena Shenzi in the 1994 Disney film The Lion King? Question 3. Is Hong Kong located north or south of the equator? So is Hong Kong located north or south of the equator? Question 4. A set of bones known as ossicles are in which part of the body? So a set of bones known as ossicles are in which part of the body? And ossicles is spelt OSSICLES. Right, question 5. Which desert takes its name from the Arabic word for desert? So which desert takes its name from the Arabic word for desert? Question 6. Who was the British Prime Minister when Elizabeth II became Queen? So who was the British Prime Minister when Elizabeth II became Queen? Question 7. What is the name of the founder of the company Amazon, who later went on to purchase the Washington Post newspaper? So what is the name of the founder of the company Amazon, who later went on to purchase the Washington Post newspaper? Well, question 8. Funambulism is another term for which circus skill? So funambulism is another term for which circus skill? So funambulism is spelled F-U-N-A-M-B-U-L-I-S-M. Funambulism. Question 9. Which is the only inanimate sign of the zodiac? So which is the only inanimate sign of the zodiac? And finally, for round 1, question 10, Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas are all fictional cities in which video game series? So Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas are all fictional cities in which video game series? Okay, so obviously that's the end of round 1. If anybody needs any questions repeating, if they didn't quite catch it, put a comment or drop me a message. I've got my phone here so I can see sort of WhatsApp, Facebook messages as well. Just give me a buzz and I will go through anything again if you need it. Okay, cool. I've had a request for question 2 again. So question 2 was who voiced Shenzi, so it's the hyena Shenzi, in the 1994 Disney film The Lion King. And then question 8, so funambulism is another term for which circus skill? So funambulism is spelled F-U-N-A-M-B-U-L-I-S-M. Funambulism. Dad, I'm not giving you the answers to the questions now. That's later on in the quiz. Okay. Nobody has any other questions they would like to be repeated. Now we'll go on to round 2. So the theme for round 2 is mythology. So it's Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Norse, a bit of everything. And it's all about sort of gods and goddesses and monsters, that sort of stuff. So round 2, question 1. In Norse mythology, what is the name given to Thor's hammer? So in Norse mythology, what is the name given to Thor's hammer? Question 2. Which creature had snakes for hair and turned anybody that looked at it to stone? So which creature had snakes for hair and turned anybody that looked at it to stone? So for that one, I will accept the name of the creature, the sort of the name of the species of creature as such. Or if you can name a specific one, then I'll take the specific one as well. The question 3, who is the Egyptian god of the sun? So who is the Egyptian god of the sun? Question 4, who was Persephone married to? So who was Persephone married to? And question 5, Wednesday is named after which Germanic god? So Wednesday is named after which Germanic god? Question 6. In Greek mythology, Icarus fell into the sea and drowned after doing what, which his father had warned him against? So in Greek mythology, Icarus fell into the sea and drowned after doing what, which his father had warned him against? Question 7. How many labours of Heracles or Hercules were there? So how many labours of Heracles or Hercules were there? Question 8. What did Odysseus say his name was when he was asked by the Cyclops Polyphemus? So what did Odysseus say his name was when he was asked by the Cyclops Polyphemus or Polyphemus? Question 9. Who saw their reflection in a pool of water and was entranced by it, eventually turning into a golden white flower? So, who saw their reflection in a pool of water and was entranced by it, eventually turning into a gold and white flower? And finally, question 10. Which hero slayed both the monster Grendel and Grendel's mother? So, which hero slayed both the monster Grendel or Grendel and Grendel's mother? Okay, so that takes us to the end of round 2. Again, as before, if anybody wants any questions repeating, pop it in the comments or drop me a message, and I will repeat those for you. Okay, so I've had requests to repeat questions 8 and 9, but 6, 8 and 9, and 11, but 11 doesn't exist. So question 6 was, in Greek mythology, Icarus fell into the sea and drowned after doing what, which his father had warned him against? Question 7 was, how many labours of Hercules or Heracles were there? Question 8 was, what did Odysseus say his name was when he was asked by the Cyclops Polyphemus or Polyphemus? And question 9 was, who saw their reflection in a pool of water and was entranced by it, eventually turning into sort of, basically they stared so long that they turned into a golden white flower. I hope that has answered everybody's questions. No one's put any more comments, so I'm going to go on to round 3 now. So the theme for round 3 is TV and film. So round 3, question 1. Which X-Men character has been played by both Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy? So which X-Men character has been played by both Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy? Question 2. Which film made history by winning the 2020 Oscar for Best Picture? So which film made history by winning the 2020 Oscar for Best Picture? Question 3. Which historical character was portrayed by David Mitchell in the BBC comedy series Upstart Crow? So which historical character was portrayed by David Mitchell in the BBC comedy series Upstart Crow? The round is TV and film, for anyone who missed it. Question 4. What is the name of the Pixar film whose main characters are voiced by Tom Holland and Chris Pratt? So what is the name of the Pixar film whose main characters are voiced by Tom Holland and Chris Pratt? Question 5. In Doctor Who, which planet were the Time Lords from? So in Doctor Who, which planet were the Time Lords from? Question 6. What is the name of the character played by Kit Harington in Game of Thrones? So what is the name of the character played by Kit Harington in Game of Thrones? Question 7. The 1986 novel It by Stephen King was turned into a film in 2017, but what is the name of the clown? So the 1986 novel It by Stephen King was turned into a film in 2017, but what is the name of the clown? And question 8, on which reality TV show did Katie Hopkins originally find fame? So on which reality TV show did Katie Hopkins originally find fame? Well, question 9. Who is the lexicographer in charge of Dictionary Corner on Countdown? So who is the lexicographer in charge of Dictionary Corner on Countdown? And finally, question 10. How many contestants start on each team in the TV quiz show Eggheads? So how many contestants start on each team in the TV quiz show Eggheads? Cool. So that was our last question in the TV and film round. So if you have any questions in that round that you would like to be repeated, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to give a bit of a longer break now, just for you to sort of go try and work out all your answers for the first 3 rounds. And then we will come back in about 5 minutes to go through and mock the first 3 rounds. Hiccups. Not fantastic. Well, thank you, Ryan. Hopefully, I always enjoy dingbats, so I thought it was something, if you hadn't done it before, I would bring you the joy of them. And it's always slightly easier if they're themed, I think. I didn't want to make it too difficult. Okay, so question 9 of round 3, I've just had a request for. So that was, who is the lexicographer in charge of Dictionary Corner on Countdown? And she also does 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown as well. She's common across the 2 shows. Oh, Dad, you've made me jealous. I now want a chocolate egg. You teleport one to me. And we'll come back in about 30 seconds or so. Just give you the last couple of minutes. Well, last few seconds. Okay, so I'm going to make a start on going through the answers to the first 3 rounds now. So our first round was general knowledge. So question 1, the answer is Greenland. Question 2, Shenzi was voiced by Whoopi Goldberg, of course. Question 3, Hong Kong is north of the equator. Question 4, those bones are found in your ears. Question 5, the desert named after the Arabic word for desert is the Sahara. I said that very strangely. It was the Sahara, not Sahara. Don't know what's going on anymore. Question 6 was Winston Churchill. Question 7 is Jeff Bezos. However you pronounce his surname, I meant to look it up and forgot, like several of these other words. Question 8, funambulism is tightrope walking. It does sound kind of fun, like fun walking. It's great. Question 9 is Libra. They are named for scales. Every other zodiac sign is a living creature, or multiple living creatures in the case of Gemini. And finally, question 10, those cities are all found in Grand Theft Auto games. So round 2 is the mythology round. So that's question 1. Thor's hammer is called Mjolnir. Do not care about spelling on that one. So question 2, those creatures are Gorgons. I will accept Medusa if you have put Medusa. But the creatures themselves are Gorgons. Question 3, the Egyptian sun god is Ra. Question 4, Persephone is married to Hades. Question 5, Wednesday is named after Odin. So it's Odin's Day or Woden's Day as well. I will accept Woden. Interestingly, in other languages, it's a different god. So in the Romance languages, it's actually named after Mercury. So you get Mercury. No, there's no bonus points for question 2. It's just one or the other. Question 6, Icarus drowned after flying too close to the sun. Question 7, there were 12 labours of Heracles. Question 8, Odysseus said his name was Nobody, so that when he blinded the Cyclops would say nobody did it to him. Question 9 was Narcissus. That's where the flower gets its name. Nobody or no one. Yeah, I'll give you no one because it's the same thing for question 8. Yes, question 9 was Narcissus, and question 10 is Beowulf. And then finally, the TV and film round. So question 1, Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy have both played Professor Charles Xavier or Professor X. Question 2, the film that won Best Picture at this year's Oscars is Parasite. Happened to be a foreign language film. That's one of the reasons it was, historic. Question 3, the answer is William Shakespeare. Question 4, the Pixar film is called Onward. It's the new one that was released not very long before all this went down. Question 5, the Time Lords come from Gallifrey. Question 6, the answer is Jon Snow. Question 7 is Pennywise. Question 8. Katie Hopkins found fame on The Apprentice. Question 9 is Susie Dent. And question 10 is 5. And yes, Prem, that is spoilers. I've not actually seen Game of Thrones, so I'm just going. If that is another name that he's known by, then yes, I'll give you that. I personally didn't know that. I've just always known him as Jon Snow. Okay, so if everybody is ready, we will make a start on round 4. Feel free to post your your scores from the first few rounds in the comments. Otherwise, if you just let me know again that you are ready to start, and we will make a start. Okay, so it's looking like people are ready. So we'll make a start on round 4. So the theme for round 4 was actually requested to me a couple of weeks ago. So if you would like any questions, if you have any suggestions for round themes, let me know. So drop me a message, or I'll put a post up in the Facebook event, or write a comment on here. I try and make note of what people want. Yeah. So the theme for round 4 is cocktails. Because I'm missing having cocktails in this time, so it felt very appropriate to make myself think of them. So round 4, question 1. A vodka and orange juice is also known by what name? So a vodka and orange juice is also known by what name? So question 2, a traditional mojito contains lime juice, sugar, rum, soda water, and which other ingredient? So a traditional mojito contains lime juice, sugar, rum, soda water, and which other ingredient? So for question 2, it's just which other ingredient. So traditionally, there's just one thing that's missing. So question 3, which ingredient would you add to a black Russian to make a white Russian? So which ingredient would you add to a black Russian to make a white Russian? Question 4. What is the red liquid that gives some cocktails, such as the non-alcoholic Shirley Temple, their red colour? So what is the red liquid that gives some cocktails, such as the non-alcoholic Shirley Temple, their red colour? Question 5. Which alcohol might you find in an old-fashioned? So which alcohol might you find in an old-fashioned? Question 6. Which famous character liked their martinis to be shaken, not stirred? So which famous character liked their martinis to be shaken, not stirred? Question 7. What would you add to a woo-woo to get a sex on the beach? So what would you add to a woo-woo to get a sex on the beach? So basically, they're just one ingredient different. What is that ingredient, basically? Question 8. Which green melon-based liqueur did Kim Kardashian promote in the early 2010s? So which green melon-based liqueur did Kim Kardashian promote in the early 2010s? Question 9. Which classic cocktail contains the ingredients vodka, triple sec, cranberry juice, and lime juice? So which classic cocktail contains the ingredients vodka, triple sec, cranberry juice, and lime juice? And finally, question 10. Blue curacao is a popular cocktail ingredient, but which fruit is it flavoured by? So blue curacao is a popular cocktail ingredient, but which fruit is it flavoured by? If anybody needs any of those questions repeating, again, just let me know. That is the end of the round now. Okay, yeah, no problem. So I've had requests for 8, 9, and 10. So question 8 was, which green melon-based liqueur did Kim Kardashian promote in the early 2010s? Question 9 was, which classic cocktail contains the ingredients vodka, triple sec, cranberry juice, and lime juice? And question 10, blue curacao is a popular cocktail ingredient, but which fruit is it flavoured by? Cool. So if nobody else needs any questions on that one repeating, I'll move on to the final round. So the final round is also general knowledge, but in this case, all of the answers are sort of linked in a chain. So the last letter or letters of, say, the first answer make the sort of first letter or letters of the next answer, and so on and so on. It's not always the same number of letters that are common. So I hope that makes sense. Hopefully it will start to make sense as we go through, if it doesn't make sense now. We'll make a start. So question 1, which famous Parisian building suffered serious damage in a fire in April 2019? So which famous Parisian building suffered serious damage in a fire in April 2019? So just to go over again, the last letters of this answer will make up the first letter or letters of the next answer. And then the last letter or letters of that one will make up the first letter or letters of the one after that, and so on. That makes sense. So question 1 again, which famous Parisian building suffered serious damage in a fire in Parisian? Which building in Paris suffered serious damage in a fire in April 2019? And then question 2, what does the letter M stand for in the acronym SMS? So what does the letter M stand for in the acronym SMS? Question 3, Angela Merkel is the Chancellor of which country? So Angela Merkel is the Chancellor of which country? Question 4. The River Ouse and the River Foss meet in which British city? So the River Ouse and the River Foss meet in which British city? So question 5. Which egg-shaped chocolate has been banned in the US because it contains a small toy which constitutes a choking hazard? So which egg-shaped chocolate has been banned in the US because it contains a small toy which constitutes a choking hazard? Question 6. Which former world number one in women's tennis holds the record for the most Grand Slam singles titles won? She's won 23. So which former world number one in women's tennis holds the record for the most Grand Slam singles titles won? Holds the record for the most Grand Slam single titles won. She's won 23. Question is more of a tongue twister than I expected. And question 5, the chocolate was banned in the US, so in America. Question 7. Which lager company was founded in 1870 in Amsterdam and was named after the river that flows through the city? So which lager company was founded in 1870 in Amsterdam and was named after the river that flows through the city? Question 8. What is the only mammal that is unable to jump, always keeping at least 1 foot on the ground? So what is the only mammal that is unable to jump, always keeping at least 1 foot on the ground? And Mum, so the question 6, the tennis person, is the first name and the surname I'm looking for. So question 9, so yes, Andrew, again with the tennis one, it is in the Open era. Yeah. So question 9, which TV presenting duo found fame as the characters Duncan and PJ in the BBC children's drama Byker Grove? No, I'm looking for what the duo is commonly known as, not their full names. So which TV presenting duo found fame as the characters Duncan and PJ in the BBC children's drama Byker Grove? No, I'm looking for what the duo is commonly known as together, not their full names. And finally, question 10. Which common skin condition, also known as atopic dermatitis, causes the skin to become itchy, dry and cracked, and commonly occurs around the hands, on the inside of the elbows, and on the backs of the knees? So which common skin condition, also known as atopic dermatitis, causes the skin to become itchy, dry and cracked, and commonly occurs around the hands, on the insides of the elbows, and the backs of the knees? Cool. Does anybody need any questions from that round to be repeated? Yeah, I'll repeat question 6, which was the tennis one. So which former world #1 in women's tennis holds the record for the most Grand Slam single titles won? She's won 23. This just covers the Open era. And question 4, the River Ouse and the River Foss meet in which British city? Cool. So that is now the end of the quiz. So I'm going to leave just a few more minutes for you to fill in all your answers. Make sure you've got all your answers for your picture round. And then in a couple of minutes, I'll start going through all the answers. Okay. If everyone's ready, we'll make a start on going through the answers now. So, round 4, I was about to say round 1. We've done round 1 answers. So the cocktails round. So question 1, a vodka and orange juice is also known as a screwdriver. Pretty much the simplest cocktail you can make. Question 2, the ingredient missing from the list for a traditional mojito is mint leaves, or I will accept just mint. Question 3, you would add cream to go from a black Russian to a white Russian. Question 4, the red liquid you would add would be grenadine. Question 5, an old-fashioned is the main alcohol you would find in an old-fashioned is whiskey. I would accept bourbon as well. Question 6, of course, it's James Bond who likes his martinis shaken, not stirred. Okay, for question 3, I will accept milk as well as cream. and 4 was grenadine. So question 7, the ingredient you would add to go from a woo-woo to a sex on the beach is orange juice. Question 8, Kim Kardashian promoted Midori. Question 9, a cosmopolitan is what you would get if you sort of added all those ingredients together. And question 10, the flavour of blue curacao is orange. And then finally on to the last round, which in my crib sheet I've titled Answer Chain because I couldn't quite think what to call it. So the answer to question 1 is the Notre Dame. Question 2, the M in SMS is message. Question 3, Angela Merkel is the Chancellor of Germany. Question 4 is York. Question 5 is a Kinder Surprise. Question 6 is Serena Williams. Question 7 is Amstel. Question 8 is an elephant. Question 9 is Anton Deck. And question 10 is eczema. I will accept messaging for answer 2 for the people that are asking. The official acronym is Short Message Service, but it is sometimes known as Short Messaging Service. So I will give that to you. And then finally on to the picture round. So the answer to question 1 is of course King's Cross. You've got 2 kings in a cross shape. Question 2 is Bond Street. Question 3 is Russell Square. So obviously you've got Russell Crowe, Russell Brand, Russell Howard and Russell Tovey. Question 4 is Green Park. Question 5 is Highgate. Question 6 is Epping. So you've got EPP in G to make Epping. Question 7 is Charing Cross. Question 8 is Oval. Question 9 is London Bridge. So it's L on D on Bridge. So London Bridge. And question 10 is Angel. Ooh. And that brings us to the end of today's quiz. So I really hope that everybody enjoyed that. I know some rounds would be harder for some people than others. I know a couple of the rounds were a bit polarizing, a bit like Marmite. but I hope you all enjoyed it nonetheless. And as I said, if you have any suggestions for rounds that you would like to see, then please let me know. As I say, I'll be putting a post up in the next event, so feel free to comment on that. Or drop me a message, put a comment on here. I try and make note of them. Obviously, some rounds are easier to do than others. So if a round is about a particular person, I'm unlikely to be doing that one. But you never know. Yes, I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm going to do the very YouTuber thing now. Obviously, feel free to please like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to be notified when I go live every time, if you hit the subscribe button and then the little bell next to it, you should get a notification every time I post a video or go live. Very helpful. Otherwise, everyone stay safe, stay well, stay healthy, and I will see you all next week and every other Monday until lockdown finishes. Otherwise, yeah, have a lovely week, guys, and I will see you all next week. Bye.